Hey, this is Henry Rotten.
Hey, this is Marcus Interfonte.
It's Brad fucking Rush.
This is Big Sexy Venom here.
This is Kill OK.
This is Killjoy.
Hi, it's Tim Lee.
Mike Damage.
This is Doc Holliday.
Yo, it's Barack Obama.
I'm Sam Jude, and this is the GBYWN.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Global Backyard Wrestling Nation podcast. As always, I am your host, Rad Hazard, here to give you all the info on the GBYWN, the governing body of the greatest backyard wrestling in the world today. And let me tell you folks, today's interview, we thought it'd never happen. But we somehow got him to sit down with us for a two-parter. It is unbelievable that this even could have been thought of, much less happened. We got a sit-down interview with Marky Lectric. Yeah, that's right, you heard it, folks. Marky Lectric is on the podcast here today. But before we get to that podcast, I want to talk about a different podcast. Our sister podcast all the way in the Outback, the GBYWN Australian Podcast, which uploaded episode 12 this week, talking about the future of the WZWA and the ICWS. Both great promotions throughout the GBYWN, representing Australia with pride and holding the GBYWN World Hardcore Championship and GBYWN Australian Championship. Please check that out on YouTube, the GBYWN Australian Podcast, episode 12. Now, folks, last weekend was a big weekend for me at EWA, but before I even get to that, I must say that 3BW held the J.T. Roberts Memorial Show on June 20th, a fitting memorial for a great man that I unfortunately never got to meet, but was such a big influence on the 3BW family, and I do mean family, over there in Hanover. J.T. Roberts meant a lot to a lot of people, and he is still being honored to this day with the J.T. Roberts Memorial Show. And I'm very happy that that camaraderie still exists here in the GBYWN community. But that's not all, folks. June 20th, 2015 will be a day that will live in infamy for the Elite Wrestling Association, because on that day, we hosted Deck the Halls. And if you can't tell by the title, it was brother versus brother. Travis Hall defending the EWA Heavyweight Championship against Joe Hall. And on that card, I defended the GBYWN World Pure Championship against former Killing with Kindness member Ryan Rage. Bitter from the fact that the Killing with Kindness movement and the Radical movement were now disbanded without him even getting a chance at defending the groups. Now he gets a shot at my Pure title, and in that Pure Rules match, he was able to make me tap out, ladies and gentlemen. He made me tap out, but to his utter dismay, after being awarded the title, after being announced as a champion, his music's playing, Commissioner FX reviewed the original referee who was speared during the bout, FX being the one who replaced him as the secondary referee, abided by the first referee's rules and announced that Rad Hazard, that's me, retained the GBYWN World Beer title by way of disqualification. A great dusty finish just after the passing of one of the greats. But on the main event, folks, the main event of the evening, brother versus brother, saw a huge swerve when out of nowhere, the WA Money in the Bank holder, Daniel Devine, cashed in to make the match a three-way dance. Halfway into the bout, and scoring the pinfall on Travis Hall to become the new EWA Heavyweight Champion. Ladies and gentlemen, Devine's first reign ever with the EWA Heavyweight Gold. And as of right now, every single champion in the EWA, is holding that championship title for the very first time. And if that doesn't say something about a new generation in the Elite Wrestling Association, I don't know what will. But now, folks, it is time. We've talked about the champions. Now let's talk to a champion. Former GBYWN World X Division Champion and former BXW Champion. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Marky Lectric. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Global Backyard Wrestling Nation podcast. I am your host, as always, Rad Hazard, and I'm currently sitting in the mansion of our guest today.
Yeah.
But to my right at the moment is the GBYWN World Champion, Henry Rodden. Say hi, Henry.
Hi, Henry.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we have our guest tonight in his humble abode. I don't know how many belts you've had. You're the former BXW champion, former GBYWN World X Division champion.
I farted again.
He
So
farted
gassy.
again. And he's rocking the PJs right now.
You're goddamn right.
This is Marky Lectric. Say hi, Marky.
Hi. I hate wrestling.
Marky Lectric.
And that's the show.
Alright.
Marky Lectric never misses a show, Marky Lectric.
You goddamn right.
That's right. He knows what's up. Well,
Hey, there's my mom. I hope she comes in. We can ask her questions about how she feels about her son wrestling.
we could. We
Or
could
not
we could ask her how disappointed she is in you.
Fuck you.
Be like, wait, he still wrestles? What?
Hey, wait, what is this rumor?
Exactly.
Yeah. They hate me for that.
They hate you for not going?
No.
Yeah, I doubt it. They probably love him more now.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they're finally proud of you.
Finally.
Wow. This is getting dark quick.
Well,
Let me
Marky...
lighten spirits with a...
Oh my goodness.
And I'm
Fart.
going to say the quote of the day. Marky smokes so many cigarettes that his farts smell like smoke. Could be little smoke signals coming out of his asshole.
I'm gonna learn how to blow O's out of my butthole.
O-face. Out the beehole.
I'm so glad this interview's just started off on such a great
I know,
note.
right?
It's perfect.
It's not even an interview. We're
If you
just
expected
rambling.
us to talk to Marky about
That's
wrestling...
how most of the time it
you're
works
wrong.
anyway.
Yeah. The best was when Sam was talking about Killer K. He's like, here's a motherfucking PIMP.
Why have you not done one with Killer K yet, Rad?
I
No
did,
one
just
understand
nobody
it.
knows what it's saying.
Oh my god.
Exactly. Oh, Killer K, what do you think about this? Yeah. Just stop. Hey man, you see my boat? You see my boat?
Dude, he's the longest reigning champion of everything ever.
You see the way... did you hear about the way he introduced himself at BYG6? Hi, I'm Killer K. You probably heard of me.
Yeah, I did hear
I think
that.
he did that to, like, Andy in the Orpo.
Well, of course, those two marks have heard of fucking Killer K.
Killer K, biggest fans are in the UK.
Yeah.
He's like David Hasselhoff. He's so over in Europe.
And Moolah.
And Moolah, too. Well,
Moolah's over everywhere.
Moolah is wrestling. Marky, you can't hate wrestling. That means you hate Chris Moolah. That's just wrong.
One does not simply hate Chris Moolah.
I had to give him a ride home from NYE, and it was just me and him.
I'm sure that was the
That was
best
the,
conversation.
That was the fucking worst car ride ever. We talked for like an hour about the old BXW, and then it was just silence. Like the only noise in the car was either
Like
the
BXW.
music- Yeah, I wouldn't know because I'm never there.
Nicely done. Hey, Marky, we're doing an interview right now.
No, we're not.
Yeah, we
There
are.
are no questions.
Oh, I have a question for you. Well, let's start at the beginning, Marky.
What's
Yeah,
the
Mark.
beginning?
Let's start at the very beginning. Where were you born?
I was born in Bethlehem, PA.
Born and raised.
You're never getting out of this town.
What
No,
year
I'm
was
not.
that?
That was 1993.
God, I'm old.
It's a majestic year.
That was the same year Power Rangers debuted.
Was it really?
Yes.
And just like the Power Rangers and Marky's wrestling career, they're both gone.
Power Rangers still around. Anyway.
Marky Lectric isn't on Netflix, and neither are the Power Rangers.
I don't know. I think
They were, but I don't know.
They should be.
Yeah.
Well, they're making a movie, so I'm hyped for that.
Whatever.
Did you hear there's a new SpongeBob?
It's out in
Yeah, it's
theaters.
out right
Yeah,
now.
that's bullshit.
Yeah, I worked in the movie.
Why would they
theaters when
do
the
it for
first one came out.
in 3D? Why?
Because that's the thing.
It's
to
not
do.
even in 3D.
No,
it's
no, it's
live
not-
action
yeah.
with 3D models.
Yeah, it's not even like fucking 3D glasses with 2D.
Oh, the movie's
animation.
just 3D.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's fucking
CGI,
dumb.
yeah.
That is stupid.
Live action, though.
Dude. Friday the 13th Part 3 3D was more 3D than this movie. That's right. I said it.
I didn't see it.
Well, it's on Netflix. We're watching it,
I don't wanna.
but it's gonna be.
We don't
fun.
have 3D glasses,
But
though.
it's
But
not.
what if I buy you some Fireball?
But it's, is it
Fireball.
a handle or a bottle?
Both.
Okay. Sold.
So if you want to book Marky Electric for your show, offer him Fireball
Or Ciroc.
or Ciroc, whatever.
Peach.
Peach Ciroc. Okay, fucking Diva Electric.
Fuck you,
Rad,
man.
get your questions.
How many
before I fight this
M&Ms
kid.
do you want, Marky?
M&M's?
Yeah.
I want 7.
Peanut,
17,000.
peanut butter, peanut pretzel.
No,
plain.
I want regular M&M's, but you have to scrape the M off of it. I don't want to see the M.
M for Marky.
Yeah,
They're
exactly.
Marky M's.
I don't want to see it.
M&M.
Marky and Marky.
I don't want to see
Marky and Mitch. M&M.
it. Who the fuck is Mitch?
Mercury.
Mercury.
Oh.
Oh well.
Marky! Tell us about your first memories of watching and realizing backyard wrestling and wrestling's a thing.
Wrestling in general.
Do you have any toys or video games or friends that liked wrestling?
Yeah, you have any friends, Marky?
Marky, you have friends?
You guys are here.
Yeah, but we're being
Yeah, we're here to
paid.
find the friends.
Yeah, I grew up with this one kid that was a wrestling fanatic, and he kind of got me into it.
Mhm.
And then I met, who the fuck was it? I met Mike Damage, and I found out that he does all that shit. And he was like, "Hey, you should come over and do stuff because you can flip." And I was like, "Okay." Then I went over.
How do you
and-
know you flipped?
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I think Justin Wheeler told him. Because I did like a front flip on some kid's front yard once. And he was like, "Hey, you can flip. You should come to a backyard wrestling show." And I was like, "Okay." And then I went there. I tried doing a moonsault off a ladder, and I hit my face off of the ladder that I jumped off of.
So you pretty much just went up and not outward, and then fell face first on said ladder.
Yeah, and
That's
I
awesome.
already had a scar on my nose because I had to get surgery, and then I reopened it.
So you reverse Billy Kidman'd yourself. That's amazing.
It was fun.
I did that for you, Rad.
Thank you.
I mentioned
I
Billy
really
Kidman.
appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Former Cruiserweight champion. Anyway, so
WCW Cruiserweight Champ.
so Mike Damage comes up to you, brings you into BXW. I assume it's BXW at that point.
Yeah.
Was there a name? Yeah.
What's their name?
Yeah, I don't know. All right. So
Well,
BXW.
it was also D-Mac. It was him and D-Mac.
Give him
Okay.
the D.
And then D-Mac abused me.
He
Repetitively.
sure did.
Yeah. He did a double clothesline with Chris Irvin once, and it hit me in the head.
Did they hold hands?
Yeah, they held hands.
Nice.
Gay.
And they clubbed me in the side of the head, and I dropped to the ground, and D-Mac's excuse was, "You're too short." And I was like, "It's called proper placement."
How dare you
You
question
should have leaped
T-Mac.
into it.
I almost cried. It hurt really bad. I thought I was concussed.
It's good selling.
T-Mac.
I wasn't selling.
No,
It hurt that bad.
I forgot you don't sell.
That's the best kind of selling.
Yeah, I never
When you,
sell.
it's real.
What year was that, Marky? Like 2007, 8?
I think it was 2008,
2008?
I think.
So you started yarding in 2008.
Was this like at the side of the house that
Yeah.
set up?
Side of the house with mattresses. And
Okay.
then at a baseball park. At a baseball field. I don't know why I said park. Because it was like a baseball field and then there was
In
like
a
a park on the
stadium.
side.
Okay.
Yeah, and we wrestled on the outside.
Went to Wrigley Field, set up a base, but no big whoop.
Yeah, in the middle of it. Just like, fuck it.
Right on home base. How was it bumming on the mattresses, huh?
It was nice, because it didn't hurt at all. But then J-Man super kicked me in the face really hard when I had braces.
J-Man.
He kicked me right in the mouth. I started bleeding.
You know, I don't know much about J-Man. What would you say about J-Man?
J-Man was an extremely nice person. Although the first thing he said when he saw me, it wasn't the first thing he said. The moment he saw me walk into his house and D-Mac already told them that I was going to be wrestling with them, he saw how small I was, immediately picked me up, ran into his backyard, and just stalled me up for a suplex for like 15 seconds. It was like, I'm going to like wrestling him.
I think everybody gets that as like the first impression with you. Like when I first met you, I was like, I'm so excited to just carry this person above my head.
Yep. When I first started wrestling, I was everyone's training dummy. They're like, I have this idea for this move I want to do, but I want to try it on you. And I was like, okay. And that's when the hatred for wrestling first started.
Whew, right at the beginning. All right.
The
Yep.
hatred started to grow. The seed began to sprout.
Yeah, but then that slowed down a little bit, so I loved wrestling. And then I
What'd you love about wrestling, Marky?
We're all really curious.
Yeah.
What
What was the thing you actually looked forward to?
hanging out.
Hey, that's fine.
Yeah. I did. That's
Who'd
like
you
half
like to
the
hang
reason.
out with?
What?
Who'd you like to hang out with in the early years?
Johnny Boy.
Did.
Johnny Boy and Matt DeMorris are my favorite people.
I enjoy me some Johnny Boy and Matt DeMore.
Some Matty D,
And Henry
Johnny B.
Ryan.
You're just saying it because I'm right here.
Yeah, I know. Well, I've known them the longest.
Well, yeah.
And Mike. I love hanging out with drunk Mike.
Oh.
That's always fun.
Day 2 Mike damage, man. And day 1 Mike damage. Well, drunk Mike damage.
Legendary. Alright, well let's go into... We went to 2008. Do you have any, like, storylines that they have for you or anything like that? Any
Memorable match.
key matches you remember from the early days that maybe a lot of people never saw or anything because it was early BXW? Anything pop in your mind?
Probably my match with Mike when we were wrestling at his house, because the whole storyline was like, it was me, Mike, and D-Mac in this faction shit.
Please tell me what the name was.
For the love of
I
God,
really
tell us.
don't want to say it.
Please.
Nope, you gotta tell us.
Nope, I don't want to say it.
This is a podcast.
Yeah, we reveal all.
D-Mac came up with it. It was the Murder Society.
The Murder Society, BXW
When are they
Originals.
coming back, dude?
I don't fucking know, never.
We're bringing them back.
But yeah, so
You
we
gotta
were
bring
in
that
that, and then the whole thing was Mike was getting all power hungry, and then so me and D-Mac were gonna turn on him, and then so
Well, you tell me Mike Damage is being a big leaguer?
No,
Yeah.
come on.
yeah, and then
Stop
so,
it.
And then so
It's interesting, you know?
we do our entrances for that one match, and he was like, lay down, and I'm like, no. He was
Oh,
like,
man.
really? You're not gonna lay down for me? You want to be a big man? And he hands me this big like,
Man.
fucking retail sign, like an estate sign.
Okay.
And he was like, you want to be a big man? And then I hit him. And then I hit him again. And I hit him one more time. And he bladed. He used to love blading so much. And then he beat the piss out of me.
Us former hardcore guys tend to do that. I went through a phase. Mike
It
did.
was literally every single match. Mike.
I wasn't that bad, though.
Mike had a razor blade.
Mike Damage is the Ric Flair backyard wrestler.
Marky, give me a punch. All right. Oh.
Bleeding.
Oh.
The bleeding makes it real.
But this time, it's for reals.
So I assume no first blood matches then. Because they'd be over. They'd be squash match.
Tie-ups.
Alright, well let's go into a little more into 2009. When did you finally get the base that replaced the mattresses?
The base was... Wait, what?
Because you had mattresses originally, right?
Yeah.
When did you get to the base?
2009.
2009, okay.
That's when we had the first Damn You North Korea. And we had Danny Danger come to a show, and it was right after he was on ECW. And, like, I saw him get out of his car, and he was walking over, and I was, like, on the phone with someone, and I was like, hold on. And then I just stared. And I was like, oh my god. I can't believe he's here. Yeah, so that was fun. But,
ECW alumni.
yeah,
Danger.
he went on there, took, what was it, like 3 moves, and got a concussion.
Extreme.
Well, actually, he took Ezekiel Jackson's finisher once. Then Vladimir Kozlov came out, gave him his finisher. And then Jackson picked him back up, did it again. Kozlov picked him back up, did it again. And then Jackson picked him up one more time and did it the last one and gave him a concussion.
Big Zeke. Get in the business.
That was fun. That fucking base sucked, though, because we didn't have anything to put the tarp, like, tied into the ground, so it was just constantly coming up.
Oh yeah, like like a breeze would come and
Yeah,
throw
and it would
up
just
and
blow
stuff.
it right over.
Be tripping over it.
Yep, that happened a lot during my match. That was when I first met Johnny Boy, and I realized that
You were in love?
me and him were going to become close friends.
What was your very first impression of Johnny Boy?
That I loved him.
Really love at first sight, huh?
Yeah, because we would talk online all the time, back when AIM was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that.
And we
And
would talk about
there's-
spots all day. Then I finally met him, and I was like, holy shit, it's really him.
He's not just a computer, he's a real person.
Yeah, and then I was
It's not
like,
like
you're going
Ask
to give me an
Jeeves.
angel's wing on the concrete. And I was like, wow, that was such a big bump. I'm so good.
I'm the best there ever was.
God,
Goddamn
no one does
right.
what I do.
Yeah. And then I kicked him really hard in the face in that match by accident. Because they were like, give him an NZ, and I was like, alright. And I wasn't wearing kick pads, and I kicked him right across the face.
Dude.
I was supposed to wear kick pads, but then like I had to take them off right as my music hit, because I forget what I had to do. I had to like fix something, but I took them off, and then the part of my entrance theme where I come out was coming up, so I just took them off and ran out. And I was so excited that I didn't know what to do, so that's what started the whole fucking dancing thing. I didn't know what I was doing then. That wasn't planned.
Spontaneous Marky.
Yeah, starting the fucking Carlton dance.
See, people think he brought it back. Marky brought it back.
Shit. What the fuck does Alfonso Rivero know? Marky Lectric.
He was on Dancing with the Stars and he did the Carlton dance.
Yes,
That
the
was
internet
awesome.
Saw that.
But he never took an angel's wings on concrete.
Yeah, fuck him.
Yeah,
No, he
damn
didn't.
right.
So Marky, when you started, were you considered like a main event guy, like, or were you like a rookie to them?
I was opener. I was always the opener.
You were the hot opener.
Yeah.
God, Marky was so hot.
Yeah, I was the opener because I never put too much thought into my matches when I first started. I would just be like, we're going to do this, and this. And then it's over. And my matches would be like 8 minutes long. So they're like, alright, you're opening. And then I opened up with Danny at, what was it, Dink 2, I think. Yeah, and I opened up with him, and it ended up being my best match. And he beat the piss out of me. He kicked me in the kidney, and I almost pissed myself. Yeah, so that was fun. And then so that match happened, and then they were like, wow, maybe we should give Marky a little push. And then they put me up against Matt DeMorris, who beat the holy fucking piss out of me for a main event.
No, was it the first time you wrestled Matt?
Huh?
Was that the first time you wrestled Matt at that point?
Yeah, our first match was at The Hobos Come Out at Night. That was the name of the show. Yeah, it was fun. And then, yeah, I was really fucking nervous to wrestle Matt. Because, like, D-Mac would always play his matches, like him and Twist. And he would just be like, dude, Matt DeMorris is such a beast. And then I just started watching all of his shit. And then when I finally met him, I was like, oh my god. Oh my god. Yep, the Crimson Chin. And then me and him became friends at PKM because he was standing there while everyone else was on the base doing stuff. And I don't know, I gathered up the balls and I walked over and I put my arm around him and I was like, you look lonely. And then we started talking and we became friends.
And you were never lonely again.
Never.
Well, Matt wasn't.
Yeah, Matt wasn't lonely.
Yeah.
And then we wrestled and he beat the poo out of me. He forearmed me so hard that it looked like I had hickeys.
That's always good.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
true
trying-
friendship.
And he downfalled the fuck out of me.
I kind of wish you would, like, moon scent out of, like, a downfall. Like, he would knee you and then you'd moon.
We could probably do that as long as he held, like, my jaw and then, like, kneed and then just pushed my jaw.
That could break your neck.
Nah.
It's
him-
Marky.
I'm indestructible.
Because you...
I did a shooting
saying
star
that.
off a roof.
With
And
no
I did it,
catchers.
and I hit the ground, and I survived. You know, I hit my face. But it was mostly my shoulder. But I hit my face. I thought I was dying. Because, like, I opened my eyes, and I was like, this is it. I'm gonna die now.
I just remember running over to you and you're like, that hurt.
It hurt a lot. Jordan immediately like collapsed over me.
Yeah, Jordan's good like that. Him and
Jordan's a good-
Schneider both do that a lot.
Who, Steve?
Steve.
Yeah. Yeah, they're
You
great.
take a gross bump, he's usually like,
They're great guys.
yes.
I love Steve.
I love
Steve is-
Steve as well.
I don't know what I was gonna say. It was probably just gonna be repeating that Steve's a really good guy.
Or that you hate wrestling.
Yeah, that too.
Let's talk a little bit about belts back in the beginning. Did people care about belts at all, or were they
Because
just kind
Rad
of tossed
did.
around?
I didn't really care about belts at all, but BXW, they, in the beginning, they cared about it a lot. They would just be like, "Oh well, J-Man's the longest reigning champion." I'd be like, "Yeah, so."
He was never on ECW.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When did you finally start traveling to other feds, Marky?
I think it was 2010. My first outside show was Elite at EWA, and Mike and everybody was forcing me to go introduce myself to everyone because I was like a hermit and I didn't want to talk to anybody. Not because I didn't I hated them. I was just nervous, and I didn't want to talk. I hate you, Henry.
What? Oh.
But yeah, and I was just nervous to go talk to everybody, and who did I talk to a lot at that show? I don't really know.
Like,
I think I just hung out with Mike.
Tommy Coburn, I'm sure.
No, I'm pretty sure I just hung out with Damage the whole time. But then I was so nervous to talk to anybody else, and I guess Ian and Joey, they were hanging out with Mike, and I wouldn't go over to Mike if they were there. I would just sit by myself because I didn't want to go talk to anybody because I'd be like, they're gonna hate me. But apparently, and then he was like, yeah, Joey and Ian think you're adorable. I was like, well, I might as well go talk to them now.
Oh, wait. They said adorable? Oh, I'm Marky.
They fell for it.
We all fell for Marky. And then he broke our hearts.
Yeah, I know. I tend to do that.
Killed kayfabe.
But, yeah, at Elite, the thing that shot me out was that I tried doing a 630. I attempted, and I semi-achieved it.
I love that I've never heard that you've ever attempted a 630.
What?
I never heard this before.
Oh, yeah. I was like, they were just like, yeah, everybody's going to be on the outside. You flip, right? And I was like, yeah.
Mhm.
And I was like, they were like, do you want to do a moonsault? I was like, well, 2 people are already doing it. I was like, I'll just try a 630. I was like, there's going to be 6 people to catch me. And I attempted, and I almost was I don't know why I went like this, like a giant butthole. But I was this close to neck bumping, but I forget who it was that caught me pretty well. I think it was 2-step. Was it 2-step? It wasn't 2-step. Why the fuck did I say 2-step? I think it was someone from 2KW. It was either Whiplash or Chris Cage.
Good old Zoltan. Protecting Marky Lectric.
Yeah, it was fun.
You teamed with Davis, right?
Yeah!
Yeah, how about that?
Enthusiasm!
It was a random fucking tag team because they were just like, we need someone from BXW to be in the bragging rights match. And I wasn't booked, and Davis wasn't booked, so they were like, alright, you guys are a tag team. And then people were like, oh my god, Marky and Davis are a tag team. And I was like, no, we're not. And then, we never wrestled as a tag team again. And then we were put in a match again. But, and then the next time I was at EWA, they put me and him in a match together. And, yeah. I didn't like that much.
Just another addition to the long list of reasons why Marky does not like wrestling.
And the hate continued.
Feed the fire.
When was the first time you ended up going to ECTW then?
First time I went to ETTW was, I think it was 2011. It was either 2011 or 2012. Because what we originally started doing was me and John and when Bless lived down here, me, Mike, and Bless, me, John, and Bless would go up to Matt's. Then we would just do like a random trampoline show, and just fucking around the entire time. And then we would order pizza and watch chick flicks, and that was the original plan. And then we were like, hey, let's actually do something. So they came up with AMWA. I think that was 2012 when we first started. That was the masked thing, and
What was your mask character?
Emphasiso, because I had a generico mask with 2 exclamation points on the side. So I was like, originally it was gonna be emphasis, but then I was like, I'm just gonna change it to Emphasiso.
From watching
I
you
basically just
and-
screamed a lot.
From watching your footage from being from like BXW guy originally, and then watching over the years as it's gone by, I kind of label you in my mind from just watching footage as like an ETTW guy more than a BXW guy now. It seems in my mind.
I agree with you on that, because I love BXW so much. I do.
I believe you.
But I love going to ETTW more, because with BXW it's like that's like the shit that you actually have to try. You actually have to try at BXW, and then at ETTW you can just fuck around and have a good time and shit. What do you want?
I made some like chicken and biscuits, like pot pie, if anybody wants any.
Oh, no, thank you.
Oh, I'm fine. Thank you though.
Henry, you know you want some.
No, I'm still full from the half-ass pancakes. I'm good.
Can I bring it back down here and eat it?
What?
Can I eat it down here because we're doing a wrestling thing?
If you come back, if you bring your dirty dishes back up.
I can do that.
There we go.
Short intermission so Marky can get food.
Marky's gonna go get food because he's a very skinny young man, and he needs his edibles.
Henry, how do you feel about this interview so far?
We got Marky in a room talking about wrestling. You know how rare that is?
I mean, I said this earlier. I think Marky's reached J-Man levels of disappearing from BXW.
Oh yeah.
So, and
So-
if those of you who are going, who's J-Man? That's my point.
There you go. I am the Marky Whisperer.
Exactly.
I brought him to the podcast. There's going to be a moment, ladies and gentlemen, whoever listens to this podcast, where we will discuss an EWA show that we almost got Marky to attend, but Marky was a little far ahead of us, and his tire went flat randomly. Myself and Rad Hazard were in one car with Mike Damage, and we still to this day believe that Marky pulled over to the side of the road and stabbed his tire so he could not go to a wrestling show. Now, we'll bring it up, and he'll probably deny it, but I need you guys to know the truth. So I just wanted to get that out there before he
took
comes
out
back.
a kitchen knife
Oh, yeah.
and just went to town.
Oh, yeah. Him and his buddy Tyler.
I still think it was Tyler who got outside the car and was like, "This is for your own good, Marky."
Marky,
and
we could be at a bar
stabbing
right now.
And Marky was like, "No, I gotta go.
Oh, hey, Marky.
Oh, hi, Marky. We weren't talking about you slashing tires.
I wasn't. It sounded more like you were talking about the me at Goodbye 2014.
Sure.
Oh, we'll get to that.
We'll get to whatever you want to talk about. This is your show, Marky.
Marky, you were BXW champion 2010.
I was?
Yeah. You
Are you
wrestled.
sure?
You feuded with Tommy Coburn. Tell us how it was
the
to wrestle
Guns.
Tommy Coburn.
Guns Tommy.
I loved wrestling Tommy back then.
Why do you say back then?
I don't know, because I feel like now I would probably hate it, but that's not even just a shot at Tommy because I hate wrestling.
There it is. Don't take it to heart, Tommy.
This is so good.
Do you remember wrestling the first PKM?
First PKM, I wrestled the pen name, JP, and Coburn.
Thoughts?
You did a dive
Well-
off the roof, right?
Yeah, I did a front flip.
There you go.
That was awesome. But, but people thought it was going to be for the BXW Championship. But it was for whoever had the best pants at that show. I didn't win.
Aw, not
I was wearing
anymore.
my Guitar Hero pants and I still didn't win. Stacy won.
I like how he won the 15-minute scramble at like the 16-minute mark of the match.
I was standing on the fence and the ending was supposed to be me jumping at him and he gives me the spear. And people were counting down, like they were like 5, 4, and I stumbled on the fence. So they were like 4, 4, 4, and then he speared me and they're like 3, 2, and then like they were counting really slow. So the ref was counting really slow, so they'd be like 3, 2, 2, 1.
The best timekeepers
Timing.
of all time.
Yeah, we sucked. We planned for like 3 minutes of that match. In the middle of it, JP randomly was talking to Stacy and was like, "You want to give me a hurricane run off the fence onto the concrete?"
JP.
And JP took a pistol whip to a piece, like a, what was it, like a wood, piece of wood on the outside or something else?
Yeah, I don't fucking know.
What the heck was going on?
JP's insane.
Yeah. Alright, well, let's go with, anything else in 2010 that you really want to throw out there that pops in your mind when you think of that year? You ended the year wrestling Cobra in 2000. I remember that.
Yep.
Anything in between?
Don't remember anything from that year really.
Alright, let's go into 2011 then. The love of Matt with Matt DeMorris, the Love Fest begins.
Does?
2011, you said? You started going to ETW?
Oh yeah.
The bromance begins.
Well, that was when we were just fucking around and stuff.
Not fucking.
No.
Yeah.
No. Not yet. That was 2012.
You feuded with... yeah, it was a feud, I think, with TJ Blade.
Yeah, small one that Eric wanted to do really bad and it ran horribly.
Yeah, Eric explained his side of all that. What do you remember from that?
I remember that me and him were supposed to do a ladder match for the belt. That never happened. That's basically all I remember. Oh yeah, but I remember because me and him were supposed to do that ladder match, but it started raining and he was like, I don't want to do it. I was like, okay, that's fine. And then I ran over to Matt and I was like, hey Matt, I didn't wrestle anybody today. You want to run out there and do a shoot match? And he was like, yeah. And then John came in and was like, I'm doing it too. And that's when John was in the Eric Williams Association with TJ.
Oh, the EWA.
Yeah. And so John came out with them and shit, and then so we had our shoot match, and I won, and as I'm standing there, holding the belt, because that's when TJ was doing that whole body spray shit, and I took the body spray and I was just spraying the belt. Just, I don't know why. But then out of nowhere, didn't even tell me it was going to happen, TJ throws his book bag at the back of my head and fucking nails me with it, and there was something hard in there, and it hurt. And then so I'm laying on the ring, and yeah, he doesn't tell me any of this is going down. He takes a ladder, and I was like, don't hit me in the head. And he was like, don't worry, I'll do it soft. And then so he goes to like throw it on top of me, and when he drops it and like tilts it. So the thing that hits me first is the top of the ladder on the back of my head.
Oh. You know, that spot that you said, don't hit me.
Yeah. And then he was like, this is gonna be the last fight at the end of the next show when I wrestle Marky, and he was holding up the belt, and then I beat him.
You showed him.
Yeah, no, it was awesome.
Give
And
him
then
the business.
And then I remember, was that the same year of WrestleFest where TJ threw the chair at you and you started bleeding?
That was 2012. That was
Oh,
next
okay.
year.
Yeah.
That was also him not mentioning anything
Yeah,
until it
exactly.
happened.
That's why I was That's why I was
Yeah.
linking it.
Yep.
And then he tried blaming it on me. He was like, Marky was supposed to tell you. And I was like, you never fucking told me! You just threw a chair at Rad's face!
I think you said like, get up or something, and that's the only thing you said. So I had like an idea like he was gonna do something, obviously, but didn't really know until it happened. It was always explained to me as, we're all gonna run in and just kick you a bunch. And that was it. You ended up losing the title to Mike Damage, right? In 2011? Or am I wrong?
2011.
Or was it Matt? Did you lose it to Demorest or Damage?
I lost to Matt at Goodbye.
Okay.
In that 4-way. Where I got tossed around like a little monkey.
Yeah, that was quite a
Who's in the
four-way,
four-way?
dude.
It was me, Matt, Zeke, and Rick.
All right, that's
Yeah.
scary at first.
You know,
I mean,
the
That match
first,
was nuts.
The first, did you ever see that match?
I'm sure I've seen it. It's just probably been a while.
Yeah, but the first idea Rick throws out, all right, Zeke, you're gonna German Marky outside of the ring. Like, Marky, you're gonna do a full backflip over the ropes into Matt's arms so Matt deadlift fucking Germans you. And I was like, ha 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 ha, you're funny. And he was like, what? I thought it was a good idea. And I was like, you're fucking serious? Then we did it. And then Matt tossed me, and I landed on my head on the outside really hard.
I'm convinced if Zeke and Matt both at the same exact time with enough effort threw you up into the air, you would not come back down.
Maybe.
You would just orbit with the satellites. I remember being inside the house with Mike, just listening to your match, because we were main and you guys are semi-main. And just the pops you guys were getting was making Mike so nervous. Like, I've never had, and not since, not before, have I ever had to have, like, stop Mike to be like, calm down, relax. But every time somebody popped, he would, like, go from, like, a slow walk to, like, quick pacing, going, the pops are getting louder, Rad. I'm like, I know who's out there.
The two biggest pops in that match were, or the three biggest pops, was when I got German to German, when I took everyone's finisher in a cycle, where I got the
Hatchet driver.
I got Zeke's, that like flipping Euro, like he does like the downfall but with a Euro.
Yeah.
Like he
Kinda
did that
sort
to
of
me, and then the setup for that was Matt was leaving the outside to go to the outside of the ring. Zeke kicks the rope, so he has one knee on the inside, one knee on the outside. So Zeke gives me the Euro, I fall back onto Matt's shoulders, he gives me the downfall to the outside of the ring, and then Rick picks me up right into the hatchet driver. So I took everyone's finisher in
A line.
Yeah, in a line. And then the other biggest one, or the other two biggest ones, was when I did a Phoenix Dragon Rana to Zeke, and when Matt downfalled Rick. That was oh no! And Matt's knee drop. Matt did a knee drop to Zeke, and people flipped the fuck out.
Dude, Matt's knee drops are huge, though.
No, like, yeah, they did this spot where Matt power slammed Rick onto Zeke's knees, who was laying down, and then so Matt stood up, leaped over Rick, and then landed on Zeke, and everyone was flipping shit.
Dude, he gets, like, spring in his step when he does those damn knee drops.
He what?
He gets he has spring in his step. He's got a good leap
He's
when it
got
comes to
flubber
this.
It
in his
pisses
shoes
me
or
off how
something.
good Matt is.
He's got hover. He like just stores gravity like in his feet and just.
Matt is the greatest wrestler of all time.
Weather does not bother him.
Not at all.
Not at all. Oh, it's fucking 15 degrees out and the base is wet. All right, let's do this. Matt DeMorris. Good as hell.
Matt DeMorris.
Good as hell.
Let's pull a Matt DeMorris.
When he went to Florida,
Uh-huh.
and then he came back, and everyone in the Backyard Wrestling Nation was just saying, "As hell, as hell."
It's because he was wrestling me and we were just chaining. Matt's first match in Florida was me, him, and Renegade in a dog fight, which don't do dog fights. They're annoying to book. Fart.
And he
And
goes squeak.
me and
Can I have a
Matt
sip of
were chaining.
If there's
And
any left.
I just countered into stuff
If
and
there
he was
isn't,
like,
you can always give him more.
He always just says "as hell,"
Eh.
and then Rick started saying it all the time. He'd be like, "Matt DeMorris does hell."
Dude, I'm pretty happy that
Yeah,
Yes.
I remember Matt was filming my match at GBYWN, and Rick gave me a lariat, and he goes, "Rad Hazard, you're good as hell, baby." So every time I think of that whole show, I remember that's the first thing I think of is Rad Hazard, you're good as hell, baby.
He always says "baby."
that
And at Goodbye 2013, when I shooting star double stomp John through that table, you hear Matt filming, like going up to John, going, "You good, baby?"
Matt DeMorris needs to do commentary at all times.
I know.
Oh yes.
But once again, we have to get Matt to come to a show. Sad face. So what are we, in 2011 still?
Well, Mark, let's talk a little bit about your Florida trips. When was the first year you went to those?
Never.
Mm-hmm.
Never will. I hated the Chad so much at one point.
Everyone hated the Chad.
Yeah, but he was a fucking dick when, like, everyone made that Facebook group for me when I was in the hospital. And, like, Steve made that Facebook group so everyone could post in it. And then, like, Chad said something just being like, oh, why is Marky getting all this attention? Like, no one helped me out. And it was just like...
Oh.
And that's when I was just like, I really don't like you. Like...
That was also around the time where people didn't like Chad because he was saying that Patrick Poison shouldn't have gone for a 6:30.
Oh, yeah!
I was living with him at the time when that was all going down.
And then also he was just doing that whole thing that Florida's better than everyone.
No, that was Shane Evans. He doesn't think that at all. That's the funny thing. Like, you may think Chad says that stuff, but...
Yeah, I thought that was mostly Chad.
It came off to me like it was a Chad thing.
Yeah, after
Believe it or not, it's mainly Shane Evans when it comes to, like, oh, fuck yeah, man.
Yeah. But after I met the Chad, then me and him were good.
I mean, it's just the internet. He's like, how many people have you met online and you're like, oh, this guy kind of is a douche, but then you meet them in person, like, hey,
yeah.
Ian was like that with me, and then me and him talked, and Ian was cool as hell to me.
Me and Ian have always been good together.
I even had to explain that to Ian, where he was like, yeah, I haven't met the Chad, I don't think I'd fucking like him. I'm like, he's just a dick on the internet. And the exact response is, oh, me too. All right.
Yeah.
But yeah, you and Chad had... I loved your match with Chad. I thought it was really fun.
Yeah, it was good.
I had to tell Rick, I was like, yeah, you should just book Marky against Patrick. He's like, why? I'm like, because Patrick's looking to get rid of this belt, and he would give it to somebody who actually would use it, and Marky's the pretty much perfect person to do it.
I don't know. I remember Marky not being too thrilled at first.
He was at a wrestling show. Like, I mean, how happy could Marky be? He wrestled the Chad and Zayn on the same weekend. God forbid.
That was my second best wrestling weekend.
I call that Tuesday.
I was so nervous to wrestle Zayn.
Oh, yeah.
That was horrifying.
I wrestled in front of 2 people, and I was nervous.
Like, you in Kentucky?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. I think I saw that match. When he was wearing his silver pants.
Oh, yeah, he was the Nega Zayn.
The Nega Zayn?
Because, well, I was staying with Zayn for like 9 days because I didn't have to be in West Virginia I had to be there at a certain time, and I just had time to kill. So like, I'm going to just go to Kentucky and stay with Zayn. And I wrestled him, and I wrestled C4. He was awesome. I miss him. He's underrated.
C4 is the one that did that powerbomb backbreaker.
Killed Patrick. He still has back pain to this day. But it was an awesome match. And anyway, Zayn and I probably went to go see Scott Pilgrim vs. the World twice in theaters while I was staying there for 9 days.
Such a great movie.
Yeah, me, him, and MX5 went to go see it. I love that movie. Yeah. There was a point where, like, Chad and Bless were all making videos based off of that, and I was like, you know what, I'm not getting sick of this at all.
When Bless made I-90 Fight for Connecticut.
Yes.
That's probably my favorite, like, show MV.
Oh, totally. Well, Chad did Sex Forgasm. Sex is the flippers tournament we have in Florida, or we used to. And he just had it where, like, all the competitors would come out and have, like, their stats.
Yeah. Yeah, Bless was doing that. Like, I forget what he used to put for, like, everyone. It was, like, motherfucker, and then Ben was Santa Claus.
Of course. He's big and jolly.
Ben refuses to be nice to me.
BRB?
Yeah. We'll hug, and then it's just me and him just shitting on each other the entire time.
Oh, yeah, he does that with me.
That's how me and Ben are too, yeah. It's the same way.
But then I actually got hurt at NYU, and he became my friend.
Well, let's talk about the first time you went to NYU, Marky. What happened?
The first time I went to NYU, I broke my leg.
How did that happen?
The worst part is we drove 3.5 hours. We get there, and 10 minutes after I get out of the car, I break my leg. Because I was so excited to see this bass, because Matt was like, dude, this bass is so awesome. It's bouncy and stuff. And I was like, alright, awesome. I'm going to do a bunch of flips and stuff. So I did a shooting star press, and I landed on my feet. I was like, I'm going to do a 1.5. And so I went to do the 1.5, and I under-rotated, landed on my foot, and put all my weight on my foot, and then you just hear this, And then Matt was like, oh, it was just the base. And then I look up and I see Doug just, like, staring over in disgust. And he was like, was that your leg? And I'm like, mm-hmm. And then Matt was just like, it was just the base. I'm like, no.
Shut the hell up, Matt.
Well, you see this golf ball that's coming off my ankle right now?
I'm sad I never got to wrestle on that base.
It was so fun.
It's a wonderful base.
I mean, I was there for the recent NYE, but it was that big-ass ring.
Yeah. Oh, nice ring, though.
It was such a high ring. Like, stand on the outside and the apron's like if you're a shorter kind of person, good lord, you're like, can't see.
I don't think I took one bump in that ring.
Well, because you did a big bump off a roof.
Yeah, I didn't take one bump in that ring.
I took a Falcon Arrow on the outside where two-step picked me up and just threw me into the corner of the edge of the... Well, no, it was so padded on, like, two sides of the ring were completely, like, padding was overlapping. They're like, yo, just pick me up, chuck me in, like, it'll look like my spine is breaking against this against the corner. No one noticed.
I think I actually saw that.
You were there. It was the main event in the rain.
Huh?
Day 0 in the rain.
Oh, yeah. No, I did see it.
But yeah, so keep talking about your NYE experience. Like, what were you supposed to do at NYE, but you got hurt right when you got there? Well, that was your first NYE?
Yeah.
Who were you supposed to wrestle originally before you broke said leg?
Day 1, I was supposed to be in a 4-way with no, not Andy. Arbo, Ian, and Raw Sewage.
That would have been a match, man.
Luckily, Glenn G Fatal rode up with us, and he took my spot in that match. And filled it fucking... He did a better job than I would have.
I still have yet to meet Glenn.
You haven't met Glenn?
Really? To meet G Fatal, yeah.
Glenn is one of the nicest people of all time. Also one of the most... He's just fucking hilarious.
I think every time I come over here, we always discuss this, and you get shocked every other time that it happens. That I'm like, yeah, so I met G Fatal.
Well, you have to!
Yeah, it's shockworthy.
The best spot of that match was when G Fatal was going for a running spiral tap plancha to Ian, and then so at the point where Glenn did like the 180 mark on the front flip, Ian just lariated him in the face.
Oh.
And then Glenn finished the rotation.
Oh, well, at least he finished the rotation.
It was awesome though, because like Ian hit him at the prime moment where it was just right when Glenn was actually facing him, and then he just hit him and he just did the extra rotation.
Perfect.
It was so awesome. Hunter, what do you want?
Doggy.
But and then day 2 I was supposed to wrestle Trey.
And that was the first time you were supposed to wrestle Trey, and didn't happen.
First time. And then yeah, that was fun. What else happened at that show? I made Ben carry me around everywhere to go get me drinks and stuff.
Oh, it's big.
Yeah. I was like, Ben, come here, throw me over your shoulder. And then like I'd make him throw me over his shoulder, and then we'd go over to the bucket of like soda, and he would like try to reach in for me, and I'd be like, no, let me do it. And he would like dip me down.
But since the ground is lava, you have to stay on Ben.
And he would like just dip me over so I could reach in. I love Ben.
He's a very good man.
I used to play Modern Warfare 3 with him all the fucking time. It would be like me, him, P-Dub-Dub, P-Dub-Dub-Dub, and who was the other guy? One of P-Dub-Dub's friends. I think his name was like Maxwell.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of his closest.
Was Maxwell at Goodbye this year? If I recall.
Was he?
He brought a friend with him, and I think it was Max. I could be wrong, but I thought it was Maxwell.
I don't know. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I feel like if you brought anybody, it would have been Max.
Yeah, we used to play all the fucking time. That was fun. I miss those days.
I ever got to play video games with buddies ever, like with 3 systems. The only person I think I ever played with was, I want to say it was Bless.
Fucking Bless.
I could be wrong though.
I remember me and Bless would talk all the time online, and we would have like such good conversations, and then we met in person, and he was just so quiet.
Oh, dude, I've talked to Bless on Uvu so many times. Like, we'd have shows at ACW, like we'd had 11th and 12th year anniversary weekend, and outside on a laptop you'd have like all the kids that are like doing drugs and stuff, and then inside you'd have like me, Chad, and a bunch of other people that just are hanging out and watching wrestling and stuff, and then you'd have 3 people videos on the Uvu thing, and then in the middle you just have Bless by himself, and the rest of us are all like there.
Smell the cigarettes.
God damn it, Marky.
Smell the smoke.
Gas electric.
Terrifying.
Ass electric.
And there you have it, folks. Part 1 of our 2-part interview with Marky Lectric. There is so much more. How much hate can Marky Lectric have in his heart for the world of backyard wrestling? You're going to have to tune in to find out. But in the meantime, folks, please enjoy the sounds of backyard wrestling. And as always, I hope you tune in for the very next edition. As always, I am your host, Rad Hazard, signing off for the Global Backyard Wrestling Nation Podcast.